just walking inside, guys, you know, living in Arizona, it's really hot during the summer, but once it starts cooling off around fall time, you know, these mountains are beautiful. I do a lot of hiking out in these mountains and many others around this area. And it's a lot of fun, really good workout. And I've been doing this every Saturday, but today I'm just doing a walk and talk. Gonna take it easy because I'm going to Orlando here in just 3 days. So just walking up, you're greeted by the music. And you got your Bowlero logo out here on the front. Just a bowling alley in Avondale, Arizona. And supposedly they got some gyms in the arcade, so let's check it out. They've got a bunch of ticket games, of course. You know, all arcades are gonna have something for tickets. Just makes money. Gives you a little variety in the arcade. But check this out, guys. Sega Hummer Extreme Edition. Looks like a yellow Hummer. Pretty cool. And look at this, guys. Time Crisis 3. This is what we should have gotten from Arcade 1-Up. Time Crisis 3. I love the yellow on this cabinet. And this is just a single player. One gun. Looks a lot like the Arcade 1-Up Namco Time Crisis gun, doesn't it? We got a Deal or No Deal. A bunch of claw machines. Ticket machines. We got this Baytech Entertainment, some type of axe throwing game. Don't snap your wrists. Then Space Invaders Frenzy. We see a lot of these raw thrills using the Space Invaders franchise. These are pretty popular. You see them a lot in the arcade. Connect 4 hoops, guys. Checking out the Connect 4 hoops. Pretty cool. An air hockey table. I would love to see New Wave Toys make an air hockey table. After seeing their skee ball at CGC, I think they got to get a skee ball. And maybe some of these basketball hoops also. I think they could do some of those. A miniature micro version. You know, talking to Namco titles and Time Crisis, I've never seen this one. Dead Storm Pirates. It is a shooter. Work together, and it looks like it's like a cannon. So, kind of cool. You know, I used to sell motorcycles, and I like this extra detail with the logos and how they put the raw thrill in the engine. And just the lights, the little details on these bikes. Of course, you know, most arcades are going to have these boxer machines. You know, people want to come in and they want to see how hard they can hit something. And, you know, some people can hit up in the 1,000, 900. I'm not there. I'm probably like 500. You guys let me know out there. Do you guys enjoy these boxing machines? Came back here to the bar to find a Pac-Man Pixel Bash. These things are pretty cool. Small, don't take up a lot of room. Multicade. Right next to the bar. But yeah, very small arcade, not a lot to it. Very good use of space. As you guys can see, this is a bowling alley. That is their primary business, is the bowling. It's just mainly a bowling alley, but they got a pretty sweet arcade. See, they got the Pac-Man logo, half-price arcade games every Wednesday. Guys, right at the entrance, they got a Halo Fireteam Raven. That is a fantastic arcade game to have at the entrance. So this is a very impressive arcade here. Halo Fireteam Raven. I mean, we've seen them with the whole cockpit, and you're in like the whole, you know, seating area. But this is a stand-up version of it, up to 4 players. And I think it's a good location. You know, they've got this directly in front of the entrance. Just noticing the speakers they put on this are pretty heavy duty. Looks like they put out some pretty big wattage. I'm gonna play this and let you guys know what I think of it. It's pretty loud in here with the music. We'll see if these speakers do the job. Fireteam Raven. 6 credits, guys. This is an expensive one. But you can hear that sound, man. It just filled the whole room. This is a big area. This thing is filling the room with sound. The stand-up version of Halo Fireteam Raven is pretty good, guys. I had a good time with it. A little expensive for such a short game, but did it. No marquee on this Time Crisis 3. But everything else looks really good on this cabinet. I'm liking it. So Time Crisis 3 has a flat top. Perfect for a drink. I'll play some Time Crisis 2 with my card reader. It's only 2 tokens for this one. That's pretty cheap. That's only like 50 cents to play Time Crisis 3. Yeah, guys, look at that recoil, baby. Look at that. Get the machine gun. Alright guys, look at that recoil. That's what we need from Arcade 1-Up, guys. A recoil like this. You know guys, this is not a very big arcade cabinet. This Time Crisis 3 would actually fit pretty well in a home with this pedestal. And this is a fantastic game. A staple I've been seeing in most arcades are going to be The Walking Dead. Again, great place to put your drink with the Walking Dead arcade. And I love this setup. I always end up playing The Walking Dead when I see it in an arcade. These crossbows they're just so much fun to shoot. So let's get into it. It's only 6 tokens for this one. This is a pretty unique one here. Police. Need for Speed Heat Takedown. It is an EA title on an arcade. I have not seen that. Very cool. I like to see new developers, new companies getting into the arcade. And this is a good one, Need for Speed. Compete with Fast and the Furious. And then they've got a MotoGP here. Very cool. So this is an expensive one. 4 credits. But it looks like it's worth it. Need for Speed. Nitrous. Very modern graphics on this one, guys. This is a sleeper. Nissan, Porsche, Ford, Chevy. I'm gonna go with Nissan, Lamborghini. I'll go with the GTR 2017. Color. Need for Speed Heat Takedown. love this, guys. They got one pinball, but what a great pinball table to have. Stern X-Men. Look at that artwork. So guys, my final score on one quarter was 2,558,810. Not bad for my first game. I do like the plastic ramps. Typically I don't like those, but this one plays pretty good with the plastic ramp. I do like hitting the Wolverine in the middle, and it's not an easy drain here. You know, you got little room here for the ball to drain. You can keep the ball in play for quite a while in this one. So I've got 1 credit left. So somewhere in this arcade, I gotta find something that takes 1 credit. Wouldn't you believe it, guys? 1 credit. X-Men Pinball. X-Men. Stern Pinball. As you guys can see, it is a very small arcade. I think it's a very good use of space, though. I mean, everything they've got available here. They got the racers, the shooters, they've got the claw machines, the ticket machines, you know, coin machines, this Avengers Marvel coin machine. I mean, even this looks pretty cool. You get up close, look at the detail of all the artwork in these. You know, you can spend a good minute or two just looking at the artwork of these Avenger coin machines, but very cool. Like, here's a very cool one as well, Rick and Morty. You know, a lot of cool artwork within this. Probably gonna check this out. Sometimes these coin machines can get addicting if you're trying to get tickets. And you know, you're trying to get some big prize and you're trying to collect these. I've spent 10, 20 bucks in Vegas on these coin machines trying to get a prize. I ended up getting a... Okay guys, so I just wanted to close out the rest of the stream here outside in front of Bowlero. Had a really good time inside there playing the arcade games. You know, these bowling alleys, they're just hidden gems sometimes. You'll find really cool arcade games within a bowling alley. It's not their focus. And what's good about that is the arcade's typically not busy. So like today, I was able to pretty much get on whatever game I wanted, which is always fun. You just, you know, put your quarters in or swipe your card and play. You're not sitting around waiting or dealing with a bunch of children running around like at Dave & Buster's. So I kind of like having, you know, the bowling alley as a option to come for the arcade. But I also wanted to get out here because it's a little bit windy today, and I wanted to test out my new DJI mic and just kind of see how it works out here in this environment. It's, you know, really windy today. It's loud. We got cars coming by with loud pipes on them. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm also using this little cover for the mic, which should cut down on any interference from around me, and you should just be able to hear my voice. But what I wanted to do is just kind of close out this stream with you guys today and just kind of discuss what I saw inside and my impressions of these arcades. So one of the arcades that I played that I really enjoyed here was Time Crisis 3. I think so much, you know, has been talked about and discussed with Time Crisis and arcade when I'm making this game, and it coming in at such a high price of $750. You know, it's just a lot of money people are gonna have to spend. And you know, we're not getting that quality gun, you know, that gun that we thought we were gonna get. We're getting a pretty inexpensive replacement for what we would have gotten as far as the experience on the Time Crisis arcade machine. I just got done playing Time Crisis 3, and it had that kick to it. It had, that gun had the kick, and it was you know, completely mechanical. It was driven by power to that gun, electrical power to the gun, which gave you a consistent kickback through the entire game. Also, we were lucky to get a chance to see that today, because we got to see what a Time Crisis 3 cabinet potentially could look like, right? Just because they've made Time Crisis 1 doesn't mean, and it didn't include Time Crisis 2 or 3, doesn't mean that they're not going to end up doing those games later on. So we do have hope for the future that maybe we do get a Time Crisis 2 and a Time Crisis 3 cabinet at some point in the future. That would be our hope, right? Now also, some other games that I was really impressed with in there, of course, is The Walking Dead. Every time I play The Walking Dead, I have a really good time with that arcade. There's just something really unique about the guns on that particular arcade, and using those crossbows, which go along with the show, and one of the biggest characters in that show who carried a crossbow, just makes it a lot of fun. Also, guys, any zombie game is going to be fun for me. I love shooting zombies. That's like my thing to do. I really enjoy it. That's why I've always liked Resident Evil. Resident Evil has always been a go-to shooting game for me. Like even the Wii light guns do really well with the Resident Evil shooting games. So had a really good time with that. And I'm thinking about just maybe one more I can throw out there for you guys for an arcade that I enjoyed in there today. I would say is that Halo Fireteam Raven. It was the most expensive arcade that I played today. It was, I think, 6 tokens to play that one. But I had a really good time with that. That was the stand-up version that they had in there, which is more like an experience of what we would get in a home arcade version of that. You know, we wouldn't have the sit down with the cockpit and all that. We would have the stand-up version of it. So I do think Halo Fireteam Raven is a high likelihood or potential to be made by Arcade1Up in partnership with Raw Thrills. So definitely could see that one coming. If they could get the hardware right, it would all come down to them getting the right chipset, the right PCB to put in that arcade. And I had a lot of hope that Arcade1Up was going to source a new chipset. I've talked a lot about it. But I found out on a stream this week that it's actually looking very bleak that Arcade1Up is going to improve their hardware, unfortunately, guys. So very likely, you know, we won't see any high-end advanced titles like Halo Fireteam Raven if they don't source a new chipset. So still left to be determined. You know, we don't have a for sure definite fact on that they're not going to end up doing that like we thought they were. But it's looking more and more like they're going to stick with the original hardware that they've been using year in year, year after year, which is low-end, very underperforming hardware for 2000s, 2010s, and modern arcade games, which kind of rules all that stuff out for us. We're going to be back to the 80s and 90s, it's looking like. But what else? You know, I got a short walk back to the car here. I know it's super windy. I hope these mics hold up for this walk and talk. But I want to talk about the At Games 4KP. I think the At Games 4KP came in at a pretty high price tag of $1,100. Then now it's $12.99 this week. It's going to go up to $13.99, and then it's going to end up at $1,500. And I'll tell you guys, I don't like their pricing model. I don't like how every week or two the price is going up on me. I was at CGC last weekend, which occupied most of my time, most of my money during that weekend, of course. I didn't want to go online and spend $1,100 last weekend. This weekend, I'm actually sitting at home looking at the 4KP, kind of wishing I want to buy it, you know, or want to talk myself into buying it. But it's $12.99. Why am I going to spend an extra $200 now to get the same thing that I would have gotten last weekend for $1,100? Like, why am I spending $1,300 this weekend? It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of discourages me or prevents me from wanting to pull the trigger. So I'm not going to be a 4KP customer. Probably not anytime soon. It's going to be a lot like the At Games Legends Ultimate for me, where I get it 2 or 3 years later than y'all do, but I pay about 1/3 of the price that everyone else will. So that's, you know, my way of doing things. I've always done it that way. I always look for deals. I don't pay full price, and it looks like that's going to happen again with this 4KP. So at games, sorry guys, I'm not pre-ordering. You're not getting my money up front. Now another thing I wanted to discuss is the iArcade. I did an iArcade stream last night, having a really good time with that multi-cade mystery encoder mod. Terrific mod. If you haven't done it yet already, plays MAME games, excellent. I'm having a really good time with my iArcade. We're also going to have a live stream coming up tomorrow evening. Hopefully I can get this video edited and out tonight. I'll probably be up till midnight doing that. But I wanted to bring this to you guys. I wanted to bring this bowling alley to you guys and the arcade within there. Had a really good time. Also guys, beautiful view of the mountains here. You know, we have these large 4,000 foot mountains here in the distance. Just wanted to show that. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend, and I will see everyone in the next video. Bye-bye. Gonna get some In-N-Out burger, guys. When's the last time you guys have ate In-N-Out? And do you have them in your area? I know they're originally from California. We had them in Texas as well. They're all over Arizona.